What's up, guys? It's Lugo back with FlexiPill episode 1 to 34. Today was week 23, day number 1. We had our primary bench session at about 4 sets of 6 with 238. Coming in and warming up, it felt good, but as soon as I took the jump from a red to a green, I was like, this kind of feels heavy. But you know what? I'm just gonna keep going, and we'll see where it ends up going from here. And overall, I would say that it went decent. I wouldn't say that it went great because this shouldn't have moved super slow, which I felt like the third and fourth sets kind of started moving. But I also have to take it with a grain of salt, knowing that okay, I'm like getting into that chunk of weight loss where it's gonna start negatively affecting stuff like bench press and squat a little bit more because I'm losing significant fat mass or just mass in general now. Not really muscle. I don't feel like I'm losing it, but I'm losing that constriction that lets me get into these positions and shorten my range of motion. So it's gonna my ROM is gonna get bigger, and I'm also gonna have less room to push the bar off of. So I understand that, and I'm just keeping the intensity high, making sure I'm pushing, but as well as not pushing too hard. Um, but I don't know. Next week, I think I'm gonna either add. Well, I'm definitely gonna add a set, but I'm either gonna stay at the same weight and do that extra set, or I'm going to not add that extra set and just do the weight up, which might have to happen because this was kind of hard, for week number 2 on this wave, and I still have one more. So ultimately, we'll see where I end up going next week and how it all just going to come down to how I feel, right? Because I don't want to drive myself into the wall. Because I'm going to restart the block again. I'm going to do another 6 week volume block, and then we're going to go into strength again. I feel like I need to be a little bit bigger. So I'm gonna end up pushing it, but I think at this point, my compound stuff is pretty good, but I need to like dial in with accessories more. Not the intensity, but of just like changing things. I feel like I am overthinking them a lot and just moving stuff around where it doesn't need to be moved. And that first instinct that I had to have to add something should just stay there, and I should just move it on, because I was thinking about it after my workout right now, and I was like, I'm doing bench and dumbbell bench. There's probably no reason for me to do uh, dumbbell shoulder press after those two movements. I should just do a more stable machine shoulder press because I don't really need to be working the stabilization more after I'm doing, two exercises that are heavily dependent on it because I'm kind of like just getting shaky and wasting movement where I could just focus on the muscle, which is what I'm doing for shoulders anyway. Like, I don't really need that, especially when I'm doing something like OHP later in the week where it's a bilateral thing and it requires a lot of stabilization. I should just, hunker down and do a machine shoulder press. And that's just like, I'm just trying to do too much on this. Uh, so I definitely need to fix that and then just ride with it. Pick one and just ride it out and just do that because that's going to help me more than just changing stuff and then, wasting energy on stuff that I probably don't need to be doing anyway. And it's kind of the same with that second tricep slot on this workout because I'm like trying to find something where it's not gonna tax my shoulder, like front delt and chest, which is why I'm kind of moving away from JM because it's like the last movement in my workout here, and it's kind of like I feel like I'm using too much and I'm not using enough triceps, so I'm just like trying to find a better slot exercise for that slot, and I think I had it good when I was doing the cable like skull crusher. It was like a one that I saw from John Jewett that was really good, and I kept moving it, like changing it for some reason when I really liked it. Just because I kind of like got in my head, I was like, I need to do jam, but it. Basically, is a jam press, and it's like they call it skull crusher, but it's pretty much just like a cable jam, and I definitely need to go back to it for sure because it is something that is going to build my triceps and remove that shoulder movement that's I feel like I'm like going too hard and maybe hurting myself more than I am trying to improve on that, if that makes sense. I'm kind of babbling a little bit because I'm just getting these thoughts out so that I can actually change it and keep that change and then progress it. But that's pretty much it for today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for episode 135. Thanks for watching.